the fact that we're able to do a show with 4 women and be somewhat well received, I think really speaks to the fact that our fan base really supports diversity and supports women in football.
They gotta play us!
What is up, everybody? Houday, and welcome to Tigress Talk. It's week 2. It feels a lot like week 2 of last year.
Yes,
Deja Houday, as they may say. But thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you, everybody watching live. Thank you, everybody in the chat. If you are new here, make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We really appreciate you all. And yeah, I'm Jess, aka Houday, and I got Jerry tonight. So hi, Jerry. Thanks so much for being here with me
Long
tonight.
time no see.
Yeah, I know. Stranger 4420 is here. He says, Houday, what's up? Darth Bengal says, Houday, ladies. Houday, Darth. Thank you so much. Yash is here from London. What's up, Yash? Thank you so much for being here. I know that time difference has got to be brutal. We appreciate you. Crypt Keeper says, ladies of the Houday, hello. Kelsey's here, the birthday girl.
Happy birthday.
Kelsey. Thanks for being here. Mary Miller is here. She says, Houday. Leela, I always feel like I say your name wrong, Leela, and I love you so much. And I never remember if it's Leela or Layla, and I'm so sorry, but I love you. Thank you for being here. GH Bulldog is here. He says, Houday, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. It's man, it's a tough week. But Jerry, you got to come to the game, so that was exciting.
I did. My favorite part of every weekend, besides the game, is always just getting to hang out with everybody. And Saturday night at the grill was just so much fun. And it really does feel just like a big family reunion.
Yes. Shout out to Holy Grail. Thank you so much for letting us all come. And even on a really busy Saturday with college football going on. So we appreciate the Holy Grail for that. And I'm so glad all the Tigresses were together. Other than Yas, who I still count as a Tigress because she was a founding member. So I still count Yas as one of our Tigresses. But all of our current Tigresses were together over the weekend, so it was a good weekend despite the game. So
I think it was the first time that all of us and Bridget were together in one spot.
I think you're right because she did not come to Tampa Bay last year, so I think you're right about that. So that was a lot of fun. The game was the game. It was a loss, unfortunately. It was close. We were in it till the very end, I felt like. And if you go listen to last year's episodes of Tigress Talk, the first 2 weeks, just replace the team names, and it's basically the same thing.
Yes.
It's just been a slow start on the offense. And compared to last week, though, I do think the offense played a lot better. T. Higgins had some great catches. He was playing like a guy on fire. He had 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. That was so awesome. Tyler Boyd had 6 catches for 52 yards. And I feel like he almost had a touchdown, too. Didn't he almost have a touchdown? It was like, maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but he had a good, Cap's reminding me off his fingertips. So he had a great game. Jamar Chase still waiting for his big game, but the weird thing, and I don't know if you saw this, Jerry, during the game, was it felt like Jamar was open. Joe just wasn't throwing the ball to him. And I feel like maybe that was like his second read or something like that. And he just didn't give it time and he just wanted to get the ball out fast. And I don't know. obviously I'm not a film expert. If you want a film expert, go listen to Bengal Sands, and Coach Kyle Caskey has an awesome show on Chatterbox. You can listen to him too. And hopefully we're going to be getting Kayla Caskey back for the Caskey's Corner to break down some of these plays for us. Oh, and Baby's here too. But it felt like maybe Joe was getting the ball out really fast. Maybe that was like I said, like a second option. He just wasn't going to it. So I don't know. I felt like, especially on that interception where the ball was going to T. I don't know if you saw, but he had his, after he was like running around and waving his hand, like, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. And then when he saw it got intercepted, he was like, he was all of us, just totally broken in that moment. So it was tough, but I think much improved.
Oh, absolutely. Joe looked a lot more comfortable. I didn't even know that he had re-injured his calf until I got a text from my husband, and he was like, Joe's limping on the side of the field and using the little gun to help. And I was like, are you serious? Because like I couldn't really see from where I was sitting because I was still focusing on what was going on with the field at the time. But I'm like, why?
Yeah. It kind of feels like a cruel joke at this point. But I think he said in his press conference that he injured it on like one of the last plays of the game. And then he had that awesome throw to T. So it's almost like, it had some adrenaline going. Maybe that massage gun is really awesome. But that's gonna be a big question mark. I think maybe tomorrow we may find something out, but we shall see. But I will say, other good positives from Sunday, Joe Mixon is actually like, he heard y'all talking about him. He's been playing great. I love to see it. I love Joe Mixon. I love to see him getting some big runs. And honestly, the offensive line I thought played decently well. Burrow only had 1 sack, and I think that sack was kind of on him. He kind of stood there and held the ball cover, which is weird because I felt like a lot of the game he seemed like he was rushed maybe. And then on that one, he just was like holding the ball forever, and then he got sacked. So it's kind of like, but again, that's just my feeling at the game. I don't always go back and really break everything down. So it's possible that I'm way off, but that's just my show, and that's what I think. So Yash says it'll get better for sure. Need Osai and Sample back. Yeah, that will be big. Osai coming back. I felt like the D line could have played better. I think they were really, I think, convinced that Lamar was going to run the whole time. Also, they were called the entire time by the offensive line, and it was not getting called. And yes, I'll be that person that talks about the officiating. I don't care.
Yeah.
I will about the I want to, because it matters. It does. And that call on Cam Taylor-Britt,
oh my gosh,
whatever they call it, pass interference, whatever they called it, where Odell Beckham Jr. basically grabbed his hands like he was like dancing with him and pulled him onto him, and then they called the penalty on us. That was probably like the worst. I've seen some really bad calls in my Bengals fandom, and that may have been the worst call I've ever seen. And all of those officials need to be ashamed of themselves because they were terrible on Sunday. But that being said, I think that obviously the line played well, better. They are playing like a line that isn't going to get talked about every week. That's not going to be the topic of conversation every game. Joe Burrow hasn't taken 13 sacks like he had at this time last year. So, obviously things are getting better. But now we've got the complication of the calf injury. Maybe Joe's not being as mobile as he wants to be because he's worried about it. I don't know, but
there was one play where he was moving around, and I thought for sure like he was feeling completely fine. And I was like, yes, Joe is back. We are good. And then the end of the game happened, and
Bulldog says part of the script. Yes, we'll have more on that and the conspiracy theory portion of the show. Stranger4420 said, bleep this terrible officiating. Yes. Them. I hope they step on Legos and get stuck in traffic and have an inconvenient week. But I think still though, 3 points. I really think that we could have had it if the defense could have come up with a stop there at the end. And if Joe Burrow had been 100% healthy, I think we win this game. I think we go into Baltimore and beat the pants off these guys like we've done in years past. So we shall see.
Yeah.
But you're right. Joe, he jumped over a guy. I feel like I remember that. He like jumped over a guy and he got like a couple of yards. I feel like he had like a little scramble and ended up running a little bit. But there was one play where he was coming down towards us, towards our south end zone, and he was looking for a guy. And that might have been the terrible call. I can't remember now. It all blends together in my mind. But he kind of had a lane right in front of me. And I think if he had been 100% healthy, he would have just gone for it and he would have taken it himself. So,
yeah, everybody in my section was saying, why didn't he just
run for it? That's what I was saying. Yeah, I'm with you, Darth. Not panicking yet for sure. I mean, we started this way last year, and it's funny because every year they're like, oh, teams that start 0-2, they don't make the playoffs. Like, yes, we do. Put that in your script because we've done it before. We can do it again. These games, it does suck that they're divisional games. It sucks that this is happening again to us, but we've shown we can overcome in the past. I think there's no reason why to think that we can't overcome it again. Unless Joe Burrow is seriously injured. If Joe Burrow is seriously injured, then this is a different conversation. But I'm not gonna put that out in the universe. I'm just gonna hope for the best and pray on it. I don't know.
Well, and let's look at the health of the rest of the division right now. Like there are some major injuries to all of the teams right now.
Yes,
it's still really anybody's, spot to take.
You're 100% right about that, and I'm sorry. But after watching the Browns and Steelers on Monday night, yikes. I mean, both of those offenses do not look great. So, and maybe they're going to start slow too. Maybe they're going to get it together. I hope not because I hate them. But I feel like you're 100% right. It's anybody's game right now in this division. And obviously the Ravens are 2-0, and we're 0-2. But the Browns and the Steelers, I think they're 1-1 each. Yeah. So it's not out of reach yet. So anything can happen.
Oh yeah. It's the National Football League. There's a reason it says any given Sunday. So
yep. You are right about that. Okay. Well, that's about all I got on the game. Anything else you want to say about the game? Any favorite moments?
I don't know if we want to talk about what's kind of going on in some of our stadiums. Not just ours, but like all around the league. But the fight that went viral on Barstool actually happened in my section.
Oh
and
God.
We watched like the beginnings of it unfold and watched that guy run up the steps and get tackled by that security guard that ended up choking him at the end of the video. And it's horrible what happened at the Patriots Stadium with that gentleman that got hit and died, and there's just fights everywhere. We all love football, but at the end of the day, it is just a game, and I don't understand why people seem to be losing their ever-loving minds at these games. Like, you get frustrated and stuff like that, but we're all spending a lot of money to go to these games. We all just want to have a good time, and I'm kind of concerned at this point to go to some other stadiums. I heard a story that a gentleman that watches the show, he went to Jacksonville a few years ago, and I believe he said it was the game that AJ Green got in the fight.
Oh, yeah.
That his 8-year-old son was getting like spat at and cussed at. And
I'm kidding.
I'm like, that makes me honestly not want to go to Monday Night Football because I don't want to go and not have a good time spending all this money. I mean, I'm not going to lie, Jacksonville's not a city I'm dying to go to, but it's just, now I'm weighing, like, is it really worth, like, not having a good time and almost putting yourself in danger? And especially as a woman, like, people are crazy, but we have to kind of, as fans, realize, again, it is just a game and nothing is worth
your life.
Or going to jail or any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just a really weird weekend, I think, for all football.
Yeah. Yash says beer. Kelsey says the Bills fans were awful, which is really disappointing because I feel like we were really good to them when they were here. So Alex McDaniels here. He says, was the lack of crowd noise as big of a factor as the stadium as it seemed to be on TV? Yes. Yes, it was. And I was very disappointed in all of you. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
See, my section
I'm kidding
was
a little bit, but
super
seriously.
loud.
What?
So I said my section was super loud, and everybody around me, like everybody was screaming in my ear. I was screaming in their ear. So I didn't realize that because we were all just lunatics in our section. And I didn't realize, I guess, that it wasn't translating on TV or that everybody else in the stadium wasn't going crazy too.
Our section was a little quiet.
No.
Obviously we are always lunatics. We're always screaming the whole time when we're on defense, but overall I did think that it was a little quiet. I think it could have been a lot better. So yeah, we have pockets that need to catch up to the rest of us crazy people. So, and I don't know what the solution is. I mean, they tell you on the board to yell. I'm at everybody.
I did have to shush people on offense again a few times.
I shush people all the time on offense. There are people having like whole conversations behind me and like, well, and then the other day I was like, I'm like, shh. They're like, oh, that unhinged lady is shushing everyone. Yes, I will. I'll shush you. Yeah, it says some of these fans are 1.5 times my size. I'm 180 pounds, 5'10". When I get to a game, I don't want a drunk Snorlax trying to claw my head off. It's quite the visual. Yeah. It's, I personally have never had a problem. Maybe I'm lucky. Maybe I'm like, don't start no, won't be no. But obviously, if an 8-year-old child is getting spat at, that's not okay. I seriously doubt that 8-year-old child was, starting stuff. But there was a Ravens fan behind me that was a lunatic. So, yeah. Cap says I can't remember the last fight I saw. We don't see fights done in our section, but you know what? Our section is a lot of season ticket holders. Now, the people immediately around us, except for there's 2 people that sit next to us that go to the warm games, but then they sell a lot of their tickets. The 2 people in front of me always sell their tickets. The 4 people behind me always sell their tickets. So it's like we get a lot of mixed bag around us. But there's very rarely any fights. Now, there was a Ravens fan behind me who, I don't know, I'm going to age myself here and I'm sorry, but I don't know if you ever watched the Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
Ever watch that show on Oxygen? Do you remember Tanisha? I didn't get no sleep because of y'all.
Yes.
I didn't sleep because of me. That girl was behind me. She's a Ravens fan. Like, that was literally her. Like, she was standing on her seat. She's like this little, like, she looked like her. She sounded like her. Like, I was like, oh my God, Tanisha from Bad Girls Club is here and she's a Ravens fan. Yeah, she says, everyone knows who you and Cap are. Whole city comes for them if they try to start a fight. Yeah, and also, like, the security guards know us, and we sit in the second row. Like, the security guards literally stare at me the whole time, and they're staring at this lunatic lady, and they're laughing at her, and I'm just like, really, guys? She's literally standing in her seat, but okay. Dara says, I was near you, and that lady was irritating. Oh, could you hear Tanisha from where you were? Yeah. Yeah, she was crazy. Like, but the funny part about her is that she would get mad and yell when the Bengals were on defense. So I was like, yeah, get mad. Let's yell right now. So it was kind of comical. But yeah, the fighting, man, I mean, you just don't know. I don't think normal people that walk around realize how precious and fragile life is. I mean, you can literally get hit in the wrong spot in your head and die instantly. You can literally get in the wrong spot in your chest and die instantly. What? That's what we were talking about. The Patriots fan that passed away. That's what Jerry was bringing up. So yeah, it's just like, you just don't know. And I don't think a lot of people, obviously people are drunk and not having, angry or whatever about their team. But gosh, if you really stop and think about it, it's not worth your life, especially. It's not worth you're going to jail. It's not worth being arrested. It's not worth the prosecution. And, I heard a lot of different stories about that guy, the guy that's gone viral now. I've heard that he was defending his family. I heard, all these different things, but at the end of the day, he broke free from the people that were trying to contain him and headbutted the dude. So at that point, it's like, okay, once you're in custody, they're trying to like get you out of there. You've already been caught. You've already been arrested. Like, I think that's when it's time to stop. But again, I wasn't there. I don't know the whole story. I'm not going to make judgments on any of that. But yikes, guys, come on, get it together.
Like it should be a safe space for all of us, for the home fans, and that's one of the things that I feel like Bengals fans take a lot of pride in, is the fact that we are very welcoming to other fans.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think this situation was between just Bengals fans against each other, but still, like I said, that's why I'm nervous to go to some opposing teams, because like Philly, I'm sorry, but I will never go to Philly.
I won't go to Philly. No, I've heard I won't go to Philly, and I won't go to Cleveland, and I won't go to Pittsburgh. I would consider going to Baltimore just because I've heard other people tell me that they've had good experiences in Baltimore. So I would go to Baltimore potentially, but I would make sure that I had like a really good seat. Because I feel like a lot of the times that we've been and we've gotten like good seats at the last minute, it's usually season ticket holders, and you're usually surrounded by other season ticket holders, and they're usually older people. They're not the rowdy crowd. So it's like, we've had good success in other stadiums. I've never looked around and been afraid that, something was going to happen. Now, people were talking smack to us when we were in Vegas at the Raiders game. People were throwing popcorn at us as we were leaving the Kansas City game, but I just, put my head down and pretended not to notice that I kept seeing popcorn piling up at the bottom of my feet as I'm walking up the stairs.
No.
But nobody was like saying anything to me. Nobody put their hands on me. I mean, Kelsey mentioned the Bills fans, and they were actually like putting their hands on them and pulling their hats over their faces. And I'm sorry, but don't put your hands on people. Like, it's crazy. That's true too. Cap's outfit is very disarming because it's just funny. But back to what I want to bring up what Bulldog said about the FCC energy. Yes, Bulldog, that's what we need in these Bengals games, is some FCC energy. So I'm hoping that, like, I don't know, can we borrow the FCC fans and bring them into the stadium, and we can do some songs. We can whip up some songs real quick. I'm sure we can write some lyrics, get the Bailey jumping up and down. And, I don't know if they'll let us bring drums or megaphones, but I do love the energy of the FCC fans. So that's a good comment. Bulldog, thanks for that. All right. Well, I feel like we're already into We Need to Talk, but let's roll the graphic just for fun. We Need to Talk is sponsored by Birmingham Meadery. Code Tigress gets you 15% off 2 or more bottles of mead. Make sure you check them out. It's perfect for when you are sad about the Bengals. Yes. Those are our friends, and they're really awesome Bengals fans, so support their mead business. Okay, so we talked about the fighting. It's not cool. Don't put your hands on people. Put kindness out into the world. Is there anything else that you wanted to get off your chest tonight, Jerry?
So let's go in a more positive direction. We need to talk about how AJ Green signed a one-day contract and retired as a Bengal. Like that, my heart was so full.
Yes.
I loved that so much. He looked so genuinely happy. I loved him being the ruler of the jungle. His family is like the cutest thing on the planet. I adore his wife. Like, I was just so happy for them. And having Giovanni Bernard at the stadium too, it was like,
I know,
some of my favorite Bengals. It was just, I loved that so much. So those are my positive takes from, we need to talk about the good things too.
Absolutely. No, honestly, you're so right about that. We all knew AJ was going to be there. We knew he was going to be the ruler of the jungle, but the signing the one-day contract, I did not expect that. And I was honestly really, really happy that both parties agreed to that, honestly, because I feel like, he was injured and then he left and he went to the Cardinals, and it was, it was really sad seeing him at the Cardinals. And then it was just like, I feel like he had a really awesome career with us, and I felt like it just came to this kind of unceremonious end, and it really kind of made me sad for the good days of AJ Green. So, Bulldog says his kids being able to can I get that one back, please? His kids being able to witness the moment. He will never forget that moment. Absolutely. Yes. I mean, and it really, I feel like that's what, the Browns family, the Blackburn family, they've gotten a lot of grief, but that's one thing that they really, I think, are known for is being good to their people and having this sense of family and sense of camaraderie with, everybody. And I think that I agree. It was really cool to see. So we knew AJ was coming back, but what was Giovanni Bernard doing there? Was he in the booth? Like, what was he doing up there?
I think he was doing the national broadcast for the radio.
Was he really? Oh my gosh.
I think so, yeah.
I love that.
I remember hearing them say something like that, but it didn't even occur to me that he was going to be in the stadium. So, and the crowd went wild. They were really, really loud when they saw him too.
Yeah. So he showed up at Logan Wilson's celebrity softball.
Oh, that's right.
And people lost their minds. I can't remember if we knew he was going to be there or not, but people love Giovanni Bernard, and for good reason. Again, same thing. We loved him when he was a Bengal. He left. He had some injuries, but I feel like he will always be a Bengal to us, and same with AJ Green. And I think that's where they had their best years. And that to me just was so special to have both of them there. So.
And they both talked so highly about Cincinnati, just, how great it was to their family, not just the team, but the city itself. I know AJ said that his wife was so excited that they can root for Cincinnati again and that this is going to be their team. So that was it's always great to hear that. And you could you could see the smile on Mr. Brown's face and AJ's face, and it was just so genuine. I was so happy that came to fruition, and it was just so heartwarming. I love it.
I know. Dalton says, run, Gio, run. I loved him so much. I remember ordering some gear, and I won extra gear from him. That's cool. And Dalton got to go to his first game.
I was so excited to
So that was exciting. He got to sit next to Whitney in our seats at 102. So that was really awesome. And I'm so glad that he got to come, and hopefully he had a good time, Dalton. I think I know on Saturday you said you were having a good time, so I hope you had a good time despite the loss. But yeah, that was awesome. Well, speaking of our tickets in 102, we are raffling them off for Her Cincinnati. So I'll show this little flyer. I have tweeted this a lot. So has Cap. We're really trying to make a good push to raise, to raise money. It's so counterintuitive because this is my left hand.
Same. I think you saw him
yeah, no, we're not good. We're not good like Vanna White's here, but because we are really trying to raise some money for Her Cincinnati. It's a really awesome organization. They do a lot for the women of Cincinnati to break the cycles of poverty, addiction, human trafficking. They have 3 separate programs that are specific to those 3 missions. And so it's a really great organization, and it's only a $10 entry, and you can win tickets for the Monday night game in the second row of section 102, which is awesome seats. They're super great seats. That's where all the players' families sit. And it's really cool to get to sit there. I've actually never sat there. I've only ever heard about how much people like sitting there, but we did sit there once for the family day. We sat kind of in that section, and they are really great seats. So enter.
I'm gonna donate because I would like a seat upgrade.
Wow.
I want a chance to win seat upgrades.
You'd be making a lot of money. But I checked on Ticketmaster just because I was curious. But so those are good seats. So make sure that you can make sure you enter that, get a chance to win, and support a great cause in the meantime. So just wanted to talk about that. And let's see what else. Oh, Dalton says, I had my family on at the opening. I cried. Oh my God, Dalton. Try not to laugh. Dalton, Whitney would not have judged you for crying. No. You know what's funny is I cry a lot at the opening stuff too, just because I just feel like it's so emotional. It's just so I just love it so much, and I give so much of my heart to this team. And the openings, they're always so emotional for me too. So I don't blame you at all for crying. I think it's funny because two of our other friends from London came and sat in those seats, and they Andrew and Tom, and I think Tom was crying. I can't remember who was crying, but somebody was crying also in those seats. So, hey, if you win our seats, you might cry. That a selling point? I don't know, but it is really cool being that close and seeing, the whole opening thing, and it's really awesome. So I'm so glad you had a good time. Human trafficking, yes, Yash. Unfortunately, being in Ohio, that's something that is a real problem here, and I think the more we raise awareness for it, and the more we help the victims, that they're able to recover, kind of adjust back to normal life and things like that. That's what they do. So it's a really important mission. Andrew Fox Miller's here. Hey, Andrew, how are you? Thanks so much for joining us. Just donated. Thanks for mentioning Love the Cause. Thank you so much, Andrew. We appreciate you, and thanks for donating. Okay, what else have we got to talk about? Joe Burrow needs reps. He's Iron Man. His suit is the preseason reps. That might be a conspiracy theory, but yeah, I don't know. Obviously he's was injured this whole preseason training camp. He missed pretty much all of it, but I think that it's been pretty apparent, especially with the Cleveland game, but even last week too, how the lack of reps, I think, is affecting his accuracy and things like that. I think, again, just me watching, just my feelings, but I think that I don't know. I'll be interested to see what the Bengals do next year as far as preseason games go, and who they decide to play versus sit, if they'll continue on this where they seem to be going with not playing anybody, or if they will maybe kind of adjust what they're doing on that. But we'll see.
It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah. And then we already talked about being loud, but on Monday, the Bengals thanked the fans after Sunday, but I feel like Monday Night Football is always on another level. I feel like maybe they'll do the cell phone light show thing again. This was super awesome. That was a lot of fun. What'd you say? They will. They're going to do the cell phone light thing again.
Awesome.
Cap says, which was so fun. I couldn't, so this is terrible. But during the Monday night game where Damar Hamlin went down, my phone was working and it was doing it. And I kept looking at it oh, it's doing it. And then when they did it again at was it the regular season Ravens game or was it the playoff game? I can't remember. But then my phone wasn't doing it that time. So,
oh no.
I don't know. But
they had another update for that, so maybe you didn't do the update in time.
Maybe that's it.
I only remember it because I had to do it before I went into the stadium.
Yeah, get your apps updated, people. But honestly, they didn't miss me. It was enough. Enough people were doing it that the effect was felt, and it was super cool, and I loved it. Christina says, my voice is still hoarse from Sunday, LOL, but I will do my best.
As it should be.
Yes. Or work on your diaphragm yelling, and then you won't be sore. Your voice won't be so sore. Jerry, last week when I was with Whitney, I gave a little yelling lesson about using your diaphragm to fill your lungs with air and then move the air to help, project your voice without straining your vocal cords. So if anybody needs a refresher,
with the tiger masks on?
No, this was on the show last week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, the tiger masks were at the slumber party.
It looked so fun.
I was because I always do a tiger mask before any game that I attend, whether it's a home game or an away game. If I'm in attendance, I do a tiger mask beforehand. And I just happened to I threw the whole box in the bag, and I was like, maybe Whitney and Bridget will want to do a tiger mask too. And so we all did tiger masks after the Holy Grail. So yeah, I loved that the Bengals were shouting out the fans. They did it before the game. They did it after the game. They were talking about the environment, the home environment being loud and things like that. So I really want to live up to those expectations that they had for us and live up to all the praise that they gave us. So, if you can't scream, clap, bang on your seat, bang on the seat that you're sitting in, bang on the seat in front of you. If the guy in front of you is standing up, bang on that seat. If they're not standing up, bang on your own seat. I don't know. Find a way to make
There's always a different energy in the primetime games too.
I agree.
I feel like.
I agree. I'm not worried. I know y'all are going to show up on Monday.
I'll be there.
Okay, let's do some conspiracy theories if I can find my thing. There it is.
Oh crap! I forgot mine.
Jerry, the commissioner will hear your thoughts, so be careful. Yash has a cure for everyone: apple cider vinegar plus fresh lime / lemon juice plus honey and a pinch of salt and warm water helps with a sore throat. So there you go, Christina. Yash has got your cure for your sore throat. All right, Jerry doesn't have her tinfoil hat on, but that's okay. We just have to be careful. Disclaimer: conspiracy theories are not real. We're really not that crazy. It's just for fun. Now, okay, I will tell you. Oh no! my bucket's a little on the large side here. I'll try and get this down on here. Okay. So I was sent a conspiracy theory. I don't know. This person sent it to me in a DM, so I don't know if they want to be named or not. But they said, and they're not wrong, the Bengals have not won a game since Mayor Aftab's little video thing. And I thought we were free of that karma when he made the video with Orlando Brown Jr. I thought that was, I thought that would be enough.
That was cute.
That was really cute. I loved it so much.
Yes.
All of it. I loved it. But it seems as if that is not yet fixed. So I don't know, Mayor Aftab, what we need to do. But if you're listening, maybe there's something you can do.
There's some sage.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sage the city.
But that was brought up to me, so I thought that was really funny. Any other conspiracy theories? I don't know. I feel like I had a lot of them, and then I just got mad. Obviously, the refs are still not doing their jobs appropriately, which I personally do not find acceptable.
No. I was going to say that since we were very vocal about the whole situation with the coin toss and the alternate site, since we beat the Bills, we also haven't won a game. And there have been just some really sketchy calls. And I'm not saying that can completely change the outcome of the game, but it does a lot. And
I think it changed the outcome of this game.
Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like sometimes
if they had got that fumble,
Goodell has a bit of a ego.
Yeah,
and I don't think he cared too
doesn't
much
about being called out. Maybe we can blame Phil too. I'm just kidding, Phil. I love you. I'm totally kidding. The coin flip at the draft. Maybe that was enough to set him over the edge. Again, we're absolutely kidding. We love Phil. We're just joking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Somebody said something about script writing earlier. And I said, oh, that sounds like a conspiracy theory. But I think you're right, honestly. I think they are annoyed that we beat the Bills like we did and made such a big stink about the coin flip thing, but I'm sorry, that was not cool. That was not how it should have been. We were totally justified in being, kind of upset about that because we deserved that home field advantage. We won the AFC North. We deserved that. So the whole thing was really silly in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if we would have at least been considered in the conversation of the alternate site, we would not have been as distraught about some things as we were. But
absolutely,
I'm not saying that anything is happening or that it's rigged or anything like that. But I do kind of feel like sometimes Goodell might be like, hey, if you just make up some calls sometimes, you're not going to get fired. Yeah. You don't have any repercussions.
Clearly, they're all out here still working.
Right?
Don't worry about that holding. They can hold. Don't worry about that. It's Trey Hendrickson. You can hold him. It's fine. It's BJ Hill. You can hold him. It's fine.
I mean, look at the first game of the season when the Chiefs offensive line guy was lined up wrong the entire time.
Oh my gosh.
Like, And the only reason they said anything, in my opinion, is because it was trending, and even the commentators were commentating on it at that point. So they were like, okay, at some point we have to call it. And that guy was like, I was told I could do this, basically.
Right. This was not in the script that I was given. I was not, I was provided with an alternate script.
Also, can we talk about the weird field goal at the end of the Rams game?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because
I heard about that. Somebody actually sent that to me today.
They
know that I do sports betting.
Yeah, they were saying that they did that to cover the spread, and I'm just like, and I don't know anything about like gambling or anything like that because we still can't do that in Florida.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, it really makes you question some things sometimes just because of how like deeply embedded the sports betting is now with the NFL, and there's so much money in it.
So much money that is maybe. I don't know.
I hate it because I don't like questioning certain things like that, but sometimes it just it just feels icky. It feels icky sometimes with
it does.
Of it.
And yes, I agree, Bulldog. We need to tear up the script that has Joe Burrow missing every preseason because enough already. We've jumped the shark. On that one.
They need new material.
Oh, Dalton says, I just donated. If I win, pick the next person. Dalton, thank you so much. That was so kind of you to donate to her, Cincinnati. Thank you so much for doing that. And hey, if we draw your name, or I'm sorry, they're actually doing the drawing. We actually have nothing to do with it. So if they draw your name, you may have to designate another person. I'm not sure how that's going to work if they draw your name. But thank you so much for donating. We appreciate your generosity, and I'm glad you had such a good time this weekend. Yeah, but that field goal thing was weird because I think a lot of people made a lot of money on that, which is, you would think, not what they want. So it's like, who's in on it? Was the kicker in on it? Was the special teams coach in on it? Were they like trying to stick it to these gambling companies because they had to pay out all this money for this crazy bet about the field goal? Like, I don't know.
It was weird.
Strange. But yeah. The whole sports betting thing, I feel like it's just gone crazy. And it's crazy to me that it's not legal in all 50 states because they push it nationally. Like it's a national like push, like the commercials, the Kevin Hart commercials, the I can't even remember all the commercials. Kevin Hart is mostly who comes to mind.
Jamie Foxx, I think.
Jamie Foxx, that's the other one. Yes. Jamie Foxx, Kevin Hart. I mean, they've got all these huge names. They've got the Manning brothers doing the Caesars stuff. I mean, they've got all these big names wrapped up in gambling. So I think that's a good conspiracy for sure. Okay, I don't even know where I'm at here in my script here. Whitney's not here. We don't have any game balls. I think, are we done with conspiracies? And chat, let me know if you guys got any more conspiracy theories. I can always put the thing back on. What'd you say, Cap? Okay, Cap says we got to give T a game ball. Yes, I agree. Yes. So Whitney's not here. She's not doing game balls. It's funny because last week Bridget was like, Whitney does really funny game balls, and I'm not funny like Whitney, so I'm just going to give actual game balls to people who should get game balls. But Cap says T needs a game ball. I 100% agree. He had a great game on Sunday after, nobody played well the week before. So after coming out after that and then having a good game on Sunday, I think he definitely deserves a game ball. So to T Higgins, we will give you a game ball via my unpaid intern on the couch.
Every time he caught a ball, you could just feel how much the city loves him.
We do love him so much.
I love him. I love him so much and his family. And I hope we can figure something out to keep him here.
His mom was at the Grail.
Yes.
Partying. Yes. And you talked to her. What did you say to her?
So I told her that I was the drunk girl in front of her at the Kansas City game. Mm-hmm. And she was like trying to remember. I was like, I know I was bundled up like Ralphie's little brother. And then I showed her the picture that I took of her when T gave her the ball. And she was like, oh, I totally remember you guys now. Her and her friend that was with her. And they're like, no, we really remember you guys. I was like, yeah. It's like, that was my first time really drinking after having a baby, and it was also 2 degrees. So she's like, oh, you were having a great time. And she was like, it was fun until it wasn't it? I was like, yeah, it was. Aww. But she is just, Mama T is the best. I adore her.
Yeah. Oh, Yash has some game balls. Charlie Jones, Chuck
Yes.
Sizzle. Absolutely. He deserved a game ball for sure. Higgins, we gave one. Orlando Brown. Yes. Orlando Brown has been as advertised and then some. I feel like he is just, I'm so impressed by him. Dax Hill. Christina's giving Dax Hill one. Yeah. Mary Miller, another vote for Chuck Sizzle for the game ball. 100%.
I thought the stadium was going to riot when the flag was on the field. Like we were all
all
so
preparing to
used
riot.
to being screwed because we had already been screwed
after
a couple of times at that point.
Yes, I mean, because that was right after the strip sack or whatever it was that they called back, and I didn't see the penalty. Maybe it was legit. I don't know. Whatever. I think Kyle last night I was kind of half watching Kyle Caskey's show. I need to go back and watch it in its entirety, but this week's been crazy busy. But Kyle Caskey did mention that on his show last night. So if you haven't seen that yet on Chatterbox, make sure you do. I haven't done the description yet for the show, but I will, and I'll make sure it's in there. But yeah, that was such a crappy call. I mean, to the letter of the rule, maybe, but that doesn't always get called. But I feel like they were like, oh no, the Bengals can't get the ball, so we better throw this flag here. And then Chuck Sizzle was like, that's okay. That's okay. I'll score 6 points right now. I don't care.
That one, there was no letter H. That was a mistake.
Okay, Cap says that was a mistake. Wasn't that the hands to the face thing?
Okay, no, you said Chuck Sizzle. Zach Carter. So Caskey
I don't know if you all can hear him or not.
Never gets called.
It never gets called, Caskey said.
But the Chuck Sizzle.
Yeah, no, that they picked that flag up. That flag didn't count. I'm talking about the one
I felt
that
like it
negated the
took
fumble
forever
where they recovered
to pick
it.
that flag up, though.
Yeah, I know, because they were like judging. They were looking right at me like, we can't make this lady any more mad. She's already going to come down here.
My friend that was with me, this was like her first time really to the Midwest, first time in Cincinnati.
Wait,
and
she hasn't been here before?
She's never been here before. She loved Cincinnati until she found out that they don't sell wine on Sundays. And she said that she cannot move to Cincinnati now. She was very disappointed about that.
I thought they just did. It was just later on Sundays.
Apparently, I don't know. Where we went, they said that they couldn't sell us wine on Sunday.
I think they don't do it till noon.
This was like 6 o'clock in the evening. So.
Oh, then maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Okay.
But so she was sitting there and looking around, and she was like, first she said that we were the drunkest city she has ever been in. And she was not wrong. I was like, yeah, we have been voted the drunkest fans. She was like, but you're also like all the happiest drunks. And
except for the guy that had voted that other guy.
Yeah, except for that guy. But as we were hurling insults at the referees, there were some very interesting insults that were being hurled, and she was dying laughing because she's never heard of some of these. She was like, this is just so Midwest.
Wait, like what? I need an example. Is it something you can say on the show? No, okay. All right.
I will text you afterwards, but we were cracking up because they were very just different. I had never even heard these before. She's like, is that a Cincinnati thing? I was like, no, I think this guy's just like really gifted with these insults.
Points for creativity.
But she's, born and raised in Tampa. So she's just used to, Tampa people are much different than the Midwest. But she was cracking up. She really enjoyed her time, even when we were yelling and threatening the referee in apparently the funniest ways possible.
Well, that's so awesome. I guess I didn't realize that Shanna had never been here because I guess we hung out with her down in Tampa. So that makes sense. But,
and she went to Kansas City with me for the first AFC game or AFC championship game.
Yep. Oh, well, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad Shannon had a great time. And it's funny because I love being from the Midwest. I'm super proud to be from the Midwest. Too. So I think it's great. So I'm glad.
I love showing Cincinnati off to people that have never been there. And she really fell in love with the city.
Christina says, now I need to know. And I think Christina has the only child who actually watched. Yeah, McKenna. I was going to say, I think McKenna is one of the only children who actually watches the show. Can you give us like a hint?
I can't.
No hints even?
I cannot.
Now I'm with Christina. Now I need to know. All right. Christina, I will
share. He just
kept
saying that you smell like a certain male body part, but it was like a very aggressive word for that body part. And what else was he saying? He was saying something else. Just repeating it like as loud as possible. And
Stop guessing, Kat. I was trying to guess. Stop guessing.
And he was saying some things about somebody's grandmother on there, and it was hilarious.
Oh my
And there was
God.
other guys behind us that were like, "That wasn't a catch. That wasn't a catch." And then as soon as they showed the replay, they're like, "Oh my bad, that was a catch."
With the Ravens fans or
no,
what?
our fans.
Oh.
They were saying it against like every catch that a Ravens guy would catch. They were like, "That wasn't a catch," and then it'd be like,
No,
"My bad."
they really
it
caught
was.
a lot of balls.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Oh.
it's not a great day for our defense, but I have every faith that they'll get better. But
Yeah.
we're definitely catching a lot of balls.
Oh.
All right. Well, we look forward to hearing from Jerry later about what was actually said about these mysterious insults that were so offensive to our friend Shannon from Tampa. There's no injury report because it won't come out till tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you had to guess right now, you think Joe Burrow is playing on Monday or no? I keep seeing all the back and forth. I think it's all just speculation at this point. I don't think anybody really knows. But what do you think?
I thought Joe said that it was feeling better than it was. I always think if it is up to Joe himself,
Yeah,
he's
playing no
always
matter what.
going out there.
Yeah.
For better or
100%.
worse, whatever the decision is. Like I've seen people like say that the team was negligent letting him play or making him play the first 2 games. Nobody's going to make Joe play. Joe is
You
going to
think
go out there
anybody
and
makes
play
Joe
unless
Burrow
he
do anything?
physically cannot like go out there and do it. Like it's not in his nature to just not do it.
Cap says nobody puts Joe Burrow in a corner. Yeah, you're 100% right, Jerry. And it's funny because, Jamar was kind of famously talking before the season started that he thought he should whatever sit or whatever. But then it's funny because Jamar, I feel like probably Jamar knows Joe Burrow the best on that team.
Yeah.
I think that's the guy on the team that knows Joe Burrow the best. I mean, maybe Sam Hubbard because of Ohio State, but I really feel like Jamar is the guy who knows Joe Burrow the best. And I'll never forget them talking about Joe Burrow sliding and not sliding. And this has been a couple years ago. And they asked Jamar about it. And I love Jamar's way of answering questions. Like he just always cracks me up. But they said something like, does Joe Burrow like not know how to slide? And he was like, no, he's just hard-headed. And I was like, that's so true. He's just hard-headed. Yeah. Like he just wants to do what he wants to do. He doesn't want anyone to tell him what he can and can't do. He doesn't. And I think you're right, Jerry. I think if he is capable of playing, he's going to play if it's up to him. Now, obviously, he's also smart. He's not stupid. So he's going to do what's best for him. But yeah, Dalton says he will always push himself for his team and the city. And that's, we love him for it. But I hope that, I hope we can get through this whole season, knock on wood, without a lot of injuries because we've been very lucky, 2 years ago, more so than last year, but we've been really lucky with injuries. So let's just hope it continues because it sucks seeing guys go down, even guys that I don't like. You know what I mean? I mean, I think Nick Chubb is probably the best offensive weapon the Browns got.
Ooh, that was brutal.
And now he's gone and it sucks. I hate it for him. I hate it for those fans. I hate it. It just sucks. Like you don't want there to be that question. When you beat a team, you want to beat that team. You don't want them to have anything on you. I hated it when we beat the Ravens. I can't even remember what year it was, but they were like, all they were talking about was like, oh, that's the janitor and the barber they signed off the street yesterday. And, they were just, and they weren't wrong. I mean, it was guys that had not played. So I hate it. I hate the injuries. And I just hope that everybody can stay healthy across the league. But
look at what the commentators were saying about the first game when Kansas City lost. And they're like, oh, there's an asterisk on this one. No. It's a loss is a loss.
Nobody put an asterisk on when we got our butts kicked on Halloween in Cleveland just because Jamar Chase was out. Nobody put an asterisk on that game. So no, nobody gets no asterisks. Everybody deals with injuries and nobody cares because everybody deals with them. It doesn't, all they care about at the end of the season is wins and losses. Nobody goes back unless you're me and you're crazy. Nobody goes back and looks at like who was injured, who was out, blah, 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 remembers the missed calls, things like that. Because at the end of the day, a win's a win.
It either says W or L at the end of that game.
Yep. So, All right. Well, I don't know. I think that's all I had. Do you have anything else, Jerry? We need to what do we need to mention? Arts and crafts. Oh, Sarah Sella Jewelry
Yes.
and Homage has their jackets back. I think they still have some in stock. Cincy Hats has bucket hats back in stock. Oh, it's a whiteout game. So get your white outfits planned for Monday. And again, I'm sorry about there's no description in the YouTube link currently, but I will update that as soon as we get off of here. It's had a very busy day, but I will get that link or I'll get that description updated with all the links. Get you guys a link to Coach Caskey's show from last night. And what's Kat bringing me? Oh, yes, I got this jacket. I don't remember where it's from. Chalkline. Look how cute this is.
Oh, that's really cute.
This is mine. Yeah, okay.
Oh, I love that.
It's really cute. And just in case anybody's wondering, if they order this, they fit just a little bit small.
Okay.
So the small size, they have a small, so that's what I got. Usually if an extra small is available, I'll order an extra small. But this actually fits me pretty well. And Cap got his normal size, which is large, and his was a little snug on him. So just, if singing background, I love that. I love that skit. Oops, hello. Lost my tab there. Okay. Can't have too many props because I start pushing buttons. Things go crazy. But yeah, so Chalkline jackets, if you're between sizes, maybe order a half size or, order size up if you're worried about it at all. But I think that's all I got. Anything in the chat? Anybody have anything we need to mention?
I have one more thing.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So because it just hit me. So I was a little disappointed sometimes when our fans were kind of booing the guys on the field, but my whole faith was restored in everybody as our guys were coming off the field, and a lot of people were leaving, but so many people stayed and were still clapping and cheering the guys as they were, going in the tunnel. And let's face it, a loss is not going to hurt anybody more than it hurts those players. Those players
100%.
hate losing. They hate it. And you could see it on their faces how just disappointed they were too. So for everybody to still be standing there and cheering them as they were going into the tunnel, that kind of restored my faith in the fans, because I'm a firm believer that if you're going to be there in the good times, you need to be there in the bad times too. And you can tell that there are a lot of people that have not been here for a lot of the really bad times.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Y'all weren't standing in the rain crying in
really
2015.
Bad times. Yeah. This is not nearly as bad as it has been. So
yeah.
You still need to be very grateful for what we have right now, because I know I cherish it still every single day.
Oh, Dalton, I'm sorry. Dalton is still stuck on this jacket. But yes, Jerry, I totally agree with you. I hate booing. I've said that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody should boo anybody. And, you can say all you want. I'm booing the coaches. I'm booing the owners. I'm booing the refs. You can justify it any way you want to. At the end of the day, the players hear it. They think you're booing them. There's no disclaimer on booing. If people are booing, then they're booing. And obviously it's a free country. Do what you want. But I agree with you, Jerry. You got to be there through the tough times and the good times too. And that is one thing that I think has always been part of my fandom, is I will always stay there until the last person is off that field, because I think they deserve fans that show up for them and stay for them. And I get it. People got stuff to do. They got lives to do, Matt Jenkins, Deshaun Watson as a human deserves booing. He absolutely does. I will boo him when he comes to Cincinnati. We will be doing another fundraiser when he comes to Cincinnati. Don't you worry about that. He's okay. So I could go a lot of places with that, but I'm totally with you, Jerry. Thanks for saying that. I agree. It's important to show your support for your team, even in the bad times. And Dalton, I'm glad you're so excited about this jacket. I will link it in the description for sure. It's chalk. Excuse me. It is chalk line is what my tag says, and I'm sure Cap ordered these, and I'm sure we've got a link somewhere we can put in the description for you. So we'll get that out for sure, and I'll tweet it out too. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Jerry, thanks for being my lone tigress today. I appreciate you. Oh, one other thing. Kayla, our beautiful Kayla,
Yes.
is doing her show this weekend. She's doing the Tempest Shakespeare, and it's in Fairfield, and there's a link. I will put that in the description as well. Christina says, we were taught you stay until the end no matter what. Being a fan means you support them no matter what. Absolutely, Christina. I'm of the same mindset. But yeah, Kayla is doing her show this weekend, so make sure you guys get tickets to see her. I saw her last show; it was so good. She's just so talented. I just love. She just sparkles when she's on stage. I love seeing her up there. So she that is this weekend. So make sure you get your tickets. There are plenty of show times. It's like Friday night, Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. So plenty of times available. Bengals aren't playing till Monday. Make sure you go and see Kayla and support local theater. I think it's important to support local theater. So make sure you do that. And then hopefully Kayla will be back joining us at some point when she's done being a big star, unless she, goes to Broadway or something. I don't know. She might, but
and we'd be so proud of her.
I'm like a proud mom. I mean, she literally has
know.
a proud mama, but I feel like I'm also a proud mama. Like just like looking at her, she's just so great. So anyway, we're so proud of her. But yeah, thanks everybody. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up and we appreciate you. Oh, Kayla's here. Our other unpaid intern. She will be back next week. Yay. We're so excited. Yes. And I can't wait. I'm going to go see her show this weekend. So I'm excited to see it. All right, everybody. Well, thank you all so much. And we will see you next week. Hoo day.
Hoo day.